a huge painting. Did you guys see that?
Max
what do you think?
has had a lot of thoughts today, so I'm just letting him talk.
Thanks, Mike.
Long live stream.
Yeah, 5 hours. Cut off halfway through. Or not in the first hour. Got, internet went down. That's why you pay for a gigabit down, right? So it cuts out.
You're in the corner. I don't know if it reaches over there. And that's another problem I have with Wi-Fi. Why can't it go through walls? Like it's 2020.
It's wireless, man.
Don't you think the one thing we could do is create Wi-Fi that actually can go through, I don't know, a fucking 2-inch plywood wall?
It makes sense, but there's more than just plywood on these walls. You know that.
I don't because I'm not a builder.
Yeah, I painted this big-ass painting. You can go see it on my YouTube channel, Mindspace. It was incredible. Guys, I literally was exhausted for 48 hours afterwards. You know how hard it is to paint something that big?
I can't say I do.
I can't either.
It's hard, okay? A lot of bending over, a lot of putting your fingerprints down.
A lot of fingerprints.
I recommend it. Logan, you said anyone could do that. What do you think? You still think someone could do that after I finished?
I think a baby could do it.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. I want to see you do it then.
Why would I do that?
If you think anyone can do it, I'd love to see you step up to the challenge.
Why?
Because I'm interested, man. I think if
I'm
you
not,
really think
don't
anyone
you think
could do
I should be interested in it if I wanted to do it?
It would help, but it would be nice if you backed up the claim. If anyone could do it, let's see what the champ can do.
No, but I don't want to, Mac.
That's okay. You don't have to.
I know.
What about the horse? You did a great job painting that horse.
Oh yeah, that's true. You do have some art experience.
Yeah, but I kind of only just do it when I feel like it.
Man, what do you want me to say to any of the things that you guys are talking? I'm sitting here I don't know what the fuck to say today, bro. I'm sorry.
I can tell.
Mac is in a weird mode today where he's just saying all these things about podcasts and painting this 24-hour live show. I don't know what the fuck to say about any of this shit.
You have notes, Mike.
But they're not about 24-hour painting.
Well, because the podcast isn't about 24-hour paintings. The podcast is about conversation, open dialogue. You have topics.
I had stuff about us missing the market pop because 2020 was a good year for the market, and Portnoy's been giving us a bunch of great looks, and we sat on the sidelines. People are mad at Adele for the braids because she braided her hair, but all the people that are mad at her are white.
Cultural appropriation stuff, some stock investing stuff. This seems like conversations that we could have on Impaulsive.
Every time I tried to say it, he said there was a live painting, and then there was Lele Pons had comments, bro. I'm sorry.
No, it's because
I just was doing it. I was just getting there, and he said he did a 24-hour painting, and the fans say they want to hear Mac talk. So I'm letting him hear Mac talk. I can't do everything. Do we let him hear Mac talk? Or do we talk about fucking Dave Portnoy, the stock market, Adele, Neuralink?
Let's let them hear Mac talk.
Fine.
Let's give them what they want.
Fuck,
nice.
bro.
I got so much to say. Guys, hey, my name's Macklin Bilski. I'm from the west side of Cleveland. I was born and raised over there. I love my family. I love my friends. I've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes that no one really sees. These guys see me sitting over there, twiddling my thumbs. That's what it looks like. That's what long format thinking looks like, all right? I do a lot of stuff over there. I'm focused on creation. Sometimes we're on this show and there's a lot of destruction going on. One of the things I'm trying to work on is building my own artistic endeavors to a point where I'm very happy with the innovation I've created. I've created different types of canvases. I've created different types of styles that are entirely and uniquely my own so that I am able to express myself to my full extent. I could go for hours talking. I have no problem doing it. However, sometimes my co-hosts on the show that we're 3 co-hosts on talk over me. That's okay. You know why? Because I like to ask questions. I like to find out how people think. And when I sit here, I'm listening and I'm absorbing what they're saying so that we can have conversations about it. Sometimes we don't get it into this show where I get to get all my thoughts out and have my full dialogue. But that's okay because after the show, we typically talk about it. We go back and we say, okay, it was good, this, that, the other, whatever. And then I finalize my thoughts. But sometimes I don't get to get all my thoughts out. I do that on my YouTube channel, which is Mindspace. You can find me there, Macklin, or my Instagram @Macklin. Thank you, everyone.
Plugs in this one episode.
Hey, man, I'm doing what I can. You plug your book every single episode, bro.
I see what's happening today. And I'm just going to say something really quick. You're not cut off because you aren't able to speak or the people are loud. You generally miss the cultural point of talking about stuff that people want to hear about. I'm sorry. I'm not to be a dick to you today, but I don't think there's a single listener to this show right now who wants to watch a 24-hour live stream of you doing sponge painting. That's not a diss. That's not a diss. I'm sorry to say that.
I will say this entirely, completely incorrect. Continue.
Okay, that's fine. But I'm just saying, generally, we have conversation about things that are ongoing in the space that have interest points to the listener.
Yes.
You are able and allowed and go for it, encouraged to jump in at any time you want to ask a question or say whatever you want about said topic.
Absolutely.
If you miss the mark, you may be overshadowed by the people who aren't. Like, I don't know how else to say it, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a...
I would say, what about the Neuralink conversation we had today?
It was completely scattered and probably taught no one anything that they didn't already know. There was I don't believe that was an incredibly educational conversation.
You don't think that injecting electrodes into someone's brain that doesn't have nerve endings is something that they didn't already know?
Does the Neuralink inject electrodes into the brain's nerve endings? Is that right? Is that
not into the brain's nerve endings, because the brain doesn't have nerve endings. That's what we talked about in this episode.
Okay,
Logan learned something today.
I didn't mind that conversation.
No, I
don't disagree with your sentiment, but that one example is that conversation could have been better, like this whole podcast, but but it wasn't way off the mark.
He's coming at us right now.
I'm not coming at you.
No, he's not.
I'm answering what the audience has said in the comments over and over and over again, and how I feel about it.
Because there's a handful of people who definitely want to hear Mac talk, so I figured maybe we'd let him talk for a second, or for a couple minutes straight. Like, I know you can talk forever, Mac, which is awesome, and you obviously have a phenomenal point of view and insight that contributes to this podcast. You're a phenomenal listener. But I also think he's sometimes right. And I even had this conversation with you the other day. I was just like, this podcast plays on our interests, which tend to be sort of on the cultural button.
Yes.
Your interests, I don't think it's reach to say, often skew from what most people. You're a very interesting young human, right?
I'm not interested in the cultural sphere of Hollywood,
which is exactly what this show is about. That is this show.
I don't think it is.
No, it is. I'm not saying I think it is. This show, Impaulsive, is about the cultural setting that is Hollywood and the culturally relevant topics of entertainment and news. That's what the show's about. Since episode 1, it's always been about that. There's no argument there. It's a fact.
But what about when there's, smart people and interesting
we talk to them about their favorite cereals, Mac.
No. But that it is what makes this podcast special is the versatility, which is why you're on this, is because you provide a completely different thought process that we don't think like you do, which is why you're on here. But I think what Mike's saying is that sometimes we get to a point where we try to maybe talk about stuff that we think would appeal to more people.
Absolutely.
And your stuff is a little bit more niche.
1,000,000%. So to say that no one would listen to it or watch it,
well, sure,
that's disrespectful to me.
No, it's an exaggeration. It's an exaggeration because it's not no one, right? You could have.
I have 3,000 people come, and I'm very, very happy that those 3,000 people came. Thank you all so much.
Right. But more than 3,000 people watch his show. So instead of catering to the 3,000 that appreciate your art and the stuff that you're interested in, we do cater to the other million.
Well, don't you think that maybe over time more than 3,000 would be interested?
No, because yes and no. So oftentimes I use the percentage of people moving as a case study.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that your audience is smaller yet dedicated and vocal is
and smart and articulate and artistic, creative.
Is not tantamount to the people who watch this podcast for entertainment and educational value.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but they might find something entertaining to work and be creative with. I had a lot of people who put this up on their screen that we work along together. It's pretty interesting.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it, but maybe keep it on your channel, and I'm fine with you plugging your YouTube 3 to 4 times per podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. You're my friend. It's all good. But, there comes a point where we have to just respect boundaries.
I had a lot of people who put this up on their screen that we work along together. It's pretty interesting.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it, but maybe keep it on your channel, and I'm fine with you plugging your YouTube 3 to 4 times per podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. You're my friend. It's all good. But, there comes a point where we have to just respect boundaries. I love that you go over in your corner and you paint, and the X amount of people who watch you and appreciate you. But when we're on this show, it has become a culturally finger on the pulse type educational, when we can get Eric Weinstein on the podcast or fuck around and hear Lele Pond sex stories type show.
Yeah.
So we just got to appreciate that, acknowledge it, and then continue to create great content.
I think we do that.
I think so,
and that's
too.
why when those culturally relevant topics come up and I don't have much to say, sometimes I just don't say much.
Sure.
Try to ask questions though.
Sure. I also sometimes I also would have to push back on the audience occasionally if I feel like sometimes they miss too, just like us. They may have missed the mark. Like we'll do a Mac only episode. We'll do. I swear to God,
that'd be great.
We'll do a Mac only episode where it's just you on this podcast by yourself.
Oh, I'd do it, bro. I can just.
I know you can. I know you can. But where you're the guest, right? So they can feel and hear everything they want to know about you.
Yeah.
So in the comments, we're not getting. I mean, it's not even that. It's like
It was just a misunderstanding. I mean, it started, like I said, the Lele one started with her like not walk. She walked in, hugged both of you guys, and then just like didn't even look at me.
We know her. We are friends. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the audience.
But I'm saying
we know we're her friends, and like there's a lot of times people out there, women especially, don't hug people they don't know. They don't do it.
No, when I went to the door, I introduced myself to. I literally had Lele like walk into the house with me.
So you guys already hugged?
First thing I did, she went ding dong. I walked to the door and she was like, Logan. I said, no, it's Mac. But
so maybe she got your hug out of the way.
Yeah, so you guys already hugged. All right, well, there's their answers. You guys already hugged before the show.
Yes.
All right.
Which is what I said before all that. But
yeah, he did say that.
Yeah, so guys, I mean, awesome to be on the show. It's fucking great. Sometimes I miss on the culturally relevant stuff because I don't pay attention to it because it's a waste of my time.
Well, you can't make that statement because you can. Hold on a second. Let me finish now. He is charged as a third co-host of the show to understand and be able to speak to what is culturally relevant.
I ask questions about it because you guys are the experts. If you want to pontificate on those types of things, I will ask questions from the experts so I can find out more. And when I ask questions, your audience finds out more too.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
So I'm gonna keep doing that.
That's a fair statement.
Love you guys.
Am I gonna need a nose job?
Yes. 100%.
It's like not great.
My septum's deviated.
No,
because I got a box. I got a box. He said so my septum's deviated. He said if I got a surgery, I can't get hit. So maybe
broken during a severe
thunderstorm,
unrest, and unruly outburst.
This is the worst episode we've ever done.
I just say just bag it, bro.
No, I'm gonna put it out. Because I'll tell you why, bro. It is impossible to shoot 100% of the time. No one does it.
I agree with you, I agree with you, but if you miss the first shot, you can often take a second. Like I just feel like we just bag it, come back, refilm it.
Mike, I suffered an injury that will appear on my face for the rest of my life.
Show that.
This podcast will see the light of day. This podcast will explain to people who is Mac. What is he doing in that corner? And why are Logan and Mike always cutting him off? This podcast will explain to people why you shouldn't put a chip in your brain that's gonna tickle your nerve endings and turn you into an android. This podcast will explain to you why my girl sleeps over the sheet and falls asleep to wave music so I can't hear intruders and protect my house. This podcast has become futile.
Nice.
I'm gonna look up what that means.
I don't. It might be right. It
means like a waste of time.
Incapable of producing any useful result.
Yeah, like a waste of time. Yes, that's what I'm saying. And you're absolutely right. What are you thinking right now?
Barely touched an hour.
That's how they know. It's packed dense full of information today.
Tantamount.
You like that?
Yeah.
That's a great
Tantamount's
word.
a good one. All right, so listen. We're going to put this out. I'm going to end it right here before anything else happens. Not so good. If you listen to this podcast all the way through, we love you. If not, I totally understand. I probably would have done the same thing. But I bleed for you, motherfuckers. Literally. I fucking bleed for you. I swear for you. I get sick for you. I'll do anything for y'all. Join the Maverick Club. Thanks for listening to this podcast. We freaking love you guys. Hit that subscribe button. I would say I'm sorry, but I'm not because, everyone has off days, and this evidently was